Alright, so we're going to be attempting to replace the screen on this ASUS Republic of Gamers, or ROG, model GA403U, right? GA403U, full model GA403UV-G14.R94060. Okay, so this screen, I don't know, we're going to see if we can get it out. You can see it's all cracked here. We have to see if we can somehow separate the LCD from the back panel here. So to do that, I'm going to try and use my fingernails here and just kind of pull on this while I push with my thumb on the back. I have a feeling this is going to be either impossible or not possible to replace, but let's see here. First of all, where does it even separate? Does it separate between this black portion, or does the glass just come out separately? I'm assuming the glass is going to come out separately. So we're gonna try and use a very thin tool here. I'm gonna use this thin tool just to get between here. And let's see, can we get between the glass? Doesn't seem like it. I might have to use some isopropyl alcohol with this. Can I get between the black portion here? No, it doesn't really get in between. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some isopropyl alcohol in the gap here and see if we can unstick some adhesive. All right, let me go grab my bottle of isopropyl alcohol and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Let's go ahead and try this. So I got this, and I'm just gonna put some isopropyl alcohol in the little groove here. Let's see. You see how it's kind of just absorbing into there? Huh. Is it... what? It just drank the isopropyl alcohol. Okay, so let's see if now if I can get this in between. Kind of. Okay. You can see how I can kind of get this under the glass now. Right, so this is probably going to be a very long, slow process of basically adding isopropyl alcohol into the groove and then slowly trying to pry this up. But I don't know, we'll see. Okay, let me try using a thicker one. If I can get this thicker one under there, that might speed up the process. The other thing is, I don't know if there's a layer of glass on top of the LCD or if the whole LCD is just this one piece. Okay, so I can't even get this in there. Oh, there we go. Kind of. Barely. Okay, but this is going to be a very long process. I'm going to have to head out for a bit, so I'm most likely going to leave just something pried in here. And, oh, and maybe over time it will slowly keep working its way to peel it up. Okay, you can hear how it's slowly peeling itself. You hear that? So it's going to slowly continue peeling its way up. Oh, actually you see all the isopropyl alcohol went between the layers now. This is going to be a messy process. I don't know. I'm going to also have to disconnect the battery, but you can hear how the layers are separating. Okay. So I think I have a feeling this glass is a separate layer, and the glass I'm kind of confused now. I don't know if I don't feel any cracks in the actual glass layer. In the top layer, what I mean. Okay. So that might mean that if we crack this top layer, is it cracked? I don't know. Okay, let's lift this. Let's get a popsicle stick under there. I can actually see all the liquid kind of flowing down through the layers here. So get a popsicle stick. Oh, you see how it has some glass from underneath stuck to it? That's not good. That means unless we can replace this whole top piece, I don't know if we're going to be able to replace just this glass. See, okay, you can see how we got the popsicle stick kind of in there. And yeah, there's glass underneath that's stuck to this layer on top. So I don't know how I would separate that if we need to somehow transfer this over. And then it looks like there's a little hole here for a sensor or something. Okay. Alright. You can see the layers are separating. There's another hole here and another hole over here. Okay. Alright, more of it's coming apart. Let's get another popsicle stick in here. Okay, you can see how it's kind of going in there. Let's try and get some more isopropyl. Oh, I'm spilling it everywhere. Let's try and get that in the gaps. Okay, it's slowly peeling away. Yep, slowly peeling away. Okay, let's get that in there. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Get the isopropyl alcohol in the gaps. And it's slowly peeling itself up. Okay. And slowly. Right, yeah. So now it's almost completely separated, the two layers. Oh, the popsicle sticks are gonna get lost in there. But you can see how we can separate this completely. I don't think we're going to be able to get the panel itself separated. I don't know. Okay, we're going to have to separate the whole screen assembly from this. So for now, I'm going to leave it, and I'll be back when I have more time to work on it, because I can't do this right now. But for now, I'm going to leave some popsicle sticks in here, in the corners, to keep it from sticking back down. And we'll just leave it for now. Alright, so I'll see you guys when we can get the bottom cover off and everything. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright, let's continue taking this thing apart using a T6 or Torx 6 screwdriver. You could probably use a T5, but T6 is the size that fits best. Okay, it looks like there's little rubber covers here. One was missing. So yeah, make sure to pull those out, and yeah, let's go ahead and continue removing these screws. If I didn't already mention, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. Alright, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but the thing is like zoomed in closer. Basically because I do like reviews, so it's like a close look at things, okay? But yeah, let's go ahead and continue getting all the screws out. The screws towards the front are shorter than all the rest. And then let's see here. I don't know if it's just an illusion, but these ones are definitely shorter. And then I think the rest are the same. Yeah. Okay. But it's always a good idea, if I didn't already mention, to keep the screws in order, because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. And the way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and get the bottom cover off now. So the bottom cover, let's see, most likely the easiest way, what I do is I get my fingernails in the gap here, and then I'll push with my thumbs on the palm rest. So let's see if we can do that with this model. Okay, sometimes they're built different, so I don't know if this one will have the same effect. Yeah, this one seems more difficult to get it that way. Let's try from the side. Nope. I'm probably going to need a suction cup for this, so let's try a suction cup. We'll try a suction cup here, and let's see if we can pull that out. There we go. Okay. Oh, so suction cup worked. And now we got to get all these clips out. We'll go from the side here. Okay, and then wiggle it around. Oh, is there a cable attached on the bottom? What is holding it? Oh, there is a cable attached on. Actually, it's not a cable attached to the bottom. The speaker got stuck to it. Whoa, that was dangerous. It could have ripped that thing off. Okay. Anyways, that's what that looks like. Okay. Not really much under there. Okay, let's go ahead and take a closer look. Let me actually take these little popsicle sticks. Actually, no, I'll leave them just to keep the glass separated. So here's what the inside looks like. Let me get a thumbnail there. Okay. And we'll get a closer look. There's this little cable thing here that's not being used for anything. What's this? PW, power. This is probably for the power button. There's a flip latch on this side that you need to flip up to pull that cable out. Okay, you got the one fan connector here. There's an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here, one screw. After you remove the screw, it pops up slightly and you pull it back. There's a speaker connector there. You got two connectors here. Okay. And then we got, let's disconnect the fan, or sorry, the battery. So the battery has this tape on top. Let's see. How is this connector held in place? It looks like it's a press down fit connector. Let me zoom in to kind of show you this better if I can. Okay, so this is the connector. There's a metal latch. You need to slide that back. So like that, okay? Once you slide that back, you should be able to get underneath there and then just lift this out. And there you go. The battery is disconnected. Okay. So usually after disconnecting the battery, I like to open up the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Okay, so do that. It makes it a lot safer to work on, especially since we're going to be pulling the screen out. It's very important to drain the power there, okay? Alright, so now that we've drained the power, let's see what we're going to have to remove if we're going to take the screen out. Is it going to be difficult to remove the screen? I'm just worried we're going to have to undo the thermal paste and everything to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to undo the screws here. It looks like there's this plastic bracket on top. But let's go ahead and remove these screws, okay? There's two on each corner. Okay, and then there's also these cables that are holding the screen in place, or the screen cable. So we want to pull those out. Two on either connector. Hopefully it comes out easily. This is my first time taking apart this model. Okay, there's little metal thingies on top that we need to set aside. These just help hold the connectors in. To remove the connectors, let me zoom in there. Okay, I'll just use my fingernails and then just pop it up. Obviously you can use like little plastic pry tools, but I use my fingernail because I always have them on hand and they work really well. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to go ahead and undo these two screws. Okay, I might have to put back the ones that hold the hinge so that I can open the screen, but let's see. Okay, now that we've got all those screws out, let's see, can we take this plastic piece out, or is it permanently stuck? Okay, Does this come out separately? You see how it wobbles? My worry is they're hiding stuff underneath the motherboard here, and if that's the case, that's going to be a huge pain to remove. Because, see here, these don't want to move as much. Am I really going to have to take the whole computer apart just to get the screen out? That's not good. That's going to be a pricier repair than expected. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get the battery completely out. It looks like the battery might have a removable connector there. So I'll get out these screws. There's 4 screws, it looks like. Okay, now that we got those 4 screws out, let's see if we can pop this up. Alright, this adhesive's kind of in the way. Can peel it off completely. There we go. And yeah, here's the battery. And yep, this connector does come out. So if you remove this, make sure you put it back the right way. You can see the exposed metal pins face up. Okay, so get that back in. Perfect. Alright, we'll set the battery aside. The battery model number is right there. C41N2302. Okay. Alright, we'll set that aside. And wow, there's actually 3 fans here. So they put all this like foamy stuff to help guide the air so it only can go a certain way. Okay. And yeah, here you can see the touchpad, trackpad connector here, keyboard connector here, and I'm not sure, but this is probably the keyboard backlight connector. Okay. It says this is the woofer, so subwoofer, and then this is the tweeter. And what else? Actually, oh, they have a little wire going up there to the tweeter. This is another speaker. That's probably another subwoofer. Okay, you got the wireless card here. You got another fan connector there. And shoot, am I really gonna have to take everything out just to get the screen out? Are they hiding? I do see screws underneath there, holding the cables underneath. So yeah, let me see, because I don't think we can pull the screen out without taking all of that, huh? That's gonna suck. Okay, now the speakers are all just gonna fall out, apparently. The little rubber things that hold them in place don't really hold them to the casing. It just kind of keeps them from wiggling side to side. So if you mess with this, make sure you're very careful with the speakers, because they're gonna fall all over the place. Okay, let's go ahead and carefully open this up. Oh, actually, okay, the glass is falling out already. You can see how this glass is kind of separating, and the layer that's broken is underneath, so that means we'd have to somehow separate that layer there, which it doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Let's see here. Can I somehow? We're going to end up with shattered glass everywhere, I think. Maybe I should have the customer have Best Buy replace this. They're going to be like, what the heck happened? It's even worse now. Okay, I need to search for the parts again just to make sure parts are available, because if I can't get the parts, then there's really no point in me even peeling this out. Yeah, I don't think we can actually separate the layers here. So pretty much we'd have to replace the entire top half. So I'm gonna have to see about getting that entire top half, and then then we can go ahead and continue this, because if I continue going right now the way it's going, I'm gonna end up with basically a completely disassembled laptop, and then I'm gonna have to put it all back together before I can even fix it because I need to order parts and I can't just leave all these parts all over my desk like this. So let me look for the parts first, and yeah, we'll see. If I can get a hold of replacement parts, then I will go ahead and completely take this thing apart to get the screen out or something. Anyways, yep, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I decided to just take it apart because why not? So let's go ahead and pull the board out. Alright, so we're going to be using, I believe, a PH1, let's see. Yep, PH1 JS1 screwdriver to remove the screws, so let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully I'm not going to have to undo all the, or redo the thermal paste and everything, but we'll find out. I'm going to try and pull out the screws without needing to do that, so let's see. Okay, keep all the screws in order. Okay, let's go ahead and pull the connector for the speaker here. So grab the wings and just wiggle as you pull, just like that. Alright, that speaker comes out easily. We can set it aside or leave it in there. Well, I'll set it aside because it looks like it's going to be in the way. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and pull out this cable. Okay, so make sure you flip that latch and then you can pull this out. If you can't flip that latch, you might have to take the SSD out first. But here you go. Oh, this is the keyboard backlight. It says KBBL. Okay, keyboard connector. We'll flip that latch and then we'll pull this out. Be very gentle with these cables. Touchpad, trackpad connector. We'll pull that out. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got to remove? All these fan screws. Actually, are the fans attached to the board? It's like lifting up without even taking the screws out. Interesting. Okay, these fan screws look like they need to go. There's a lot of screws, so make sure you're able to keep track of them. I probably should have used something to like, well, actually they have little arrows pointing to where the screws go, so they're in there. Okay, we're gonna remove the fan screws here. I don't know if I need to, but we'll see. Let's see, did that help make it liftable? Not really. I don't know if we even needed to remove the fan screws. It looks like the fan is actually attached to just the board, so I don't think I needed to remove those screws. But there might be hidden screws under the heatsink. Actually, is it just adhesive down? Okay, let's put the fan screws back in. I felt like, I think there's just like foam that it's sticky, so it's getting stuck there. So let's go ahead and get these back in. I'm going to try and avoid removing screws that I don't need to. Okay, we'll get the other, let's see if I can show you guys this. We'll disconnect this little cable here, so kind of just grab as close as you can and wiggle side to side as you pull. And you can see how it comes out. Okay, that is, it says the tweeter, so that's another speaker. And then we'll grab this speaker and again wiggle and pull. There we go. We got the other subwoofer speaker out, or whatever you want to call it. Set that to the side. We'll slide that out so it's no longer wrapped around there. Let's get the antennas out. So the white one, the auxiliary white arrow, has this little grayish white thing wrapped around it, so we'll pull that up, and then we'll go ahead and pull this one up. Just go from the tail and just pull straight up. Okay, I'm gonna unroute these from those little plastic things that hold it in place and go around here. Okay, go around there so it's no longer tucked in the little cutout of the motherboard. Alright, since the fans I think are attached to the board, we're gonna leave those. Okay, then we got two more screws on this side, so for the motherboard. It's very symmetrical. Two on the left, two on the right. Nice. Okay, we'll see if that's enough to pull the board out. That would be nice if it is. I'm not sure if it is, but it'll be nice if it is. Okay, let's see. Can we lift this? It's kind of lifting. See that? I feel like the whole board is kind of somewhat lifting, but the problem is, I think the USB-C connector. Oh, also don't forget to disconnect the power button cable here. At least I think this is for the power button. Flip that latch. Why is that latch so difficult to flip up? There we go. Flip that latch, and then this cable, really tiny one, grab and pull it back. Wow, that's difficult to pull. There we go. Okay, so now we pulled that back. You might have to use something small to kind of just push it out of the way. Let's try with these little tweezers just to make sure to lift it out of the way. Okay. It doesn't want to stay lifted out of the way, so that might be difficult to put back. But yeah, okay, let me see underneath that cable. I want to see what the connector underneath looks like. Yeah, this cable's tricky because it's so small. Okay, it looks fine. I just wanted to make sure it was okay. Alright, do we need to take out any other screws? Let's take out the SSD just in case there's something hidden under there. One screw. This comes up and then wiggle and pull. Okay, nothing's hidden under there, so I don't know. It's lifting as if none of these screws are holding. Like none of these screws, the fan screws, are holding it down. So we might have to like flex it, the board, to try and pull it in. Headphone jack sticks in there pretty far. Okay, the left side looks like there's not really anything holding it down in terms of like in the outer casing here. So if we can somehow lift this side up, okay, you can see how it's lifting. But maybe there's some hidden screws under here. I don't know. Oh no, okay, it's lifting. So I used the heatsink part, the thicker portion, to kind of help lift this. And you can see how this is lifting. Carefully wiggle it. It sounds like there's some foam. So we're going to carefully wiggle and lift this. Yeah, it seems like some foam is just sticking to it. So we'll get all of this out very slowly. And yeah, so this foam, see this? It like sticks, it was sticking to the board. That's to help guide the airflow. So there's nothing under here. I'm going to clean it a little bit. It's kind of dusty. See, dusty here and here. But it looks like we did need to take that out to be able to access this. You see how there's screws under here? And yeah, the power button, this cable runs to that connector. So I'm going to clean this with a toothbrush and my air blower, and I'll be back. And then we'll continue taking out the screen. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So cleaned up the motherboard, logic board. Okay, very nice that you can pull the whole thing up with just removing 4 screws. But you do have to disconnect all those little connectors, so keep that in mind. All right, back is all cleaned up this as well. Okay, and now let's go ahead and see about removing the screen. It's a little bit of a pain, but let's see. Okay, and yeah, you could have left the SSD attached as well. I didn't have to remove that to get the other things out. Okay, so we're gonna now remove the other screws that are holding this piece down. And we might have to also remove the 2 screen cables to get that out. So, oh, we'd have to switch to a different screwdriver for that. So I'll remove these first. Okay, be careful because the wireless antenna wire is there as well. The wireless antenna wires are kind of like tucked under. So actually we can untuck these, I believe, and get them out first. So, oops, sorry. So we can untuck these, go up, untuck, over, and there's some kind of adhesive thing holding it there, so I'm going to leave that. And hopefully we can get it out without removing that. I don't know if the antennas are part of this or something else. I think we might have to peel it out actually. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Does this come out now? No? Still no? Okay. We're gonna have to switch to a PH0 or JS0 to get those out. So let's do that. Okay. This one, this one. Alright, this one. Looks like there might be some spring-loaded thing here, we'll see. And this one, I need a closer look. Alright, so we got those out. Let's see, how's this even held in there? Okay, so this comes out. You can see there's a spring-loaded thing here that kind of holds this cabling out. Interesting. How do we get that out? Does this slide out completely? Okay, the spring-loaded things actually can slide out all the way, I think. Actually, no. How do you get this out? Does this lift up? Does this lift out? What? It looks like we should be able to pull the spring thing all the way out here, but it's tough. How does this come out? Okay, I see. So it hits this raised plastic thing here. Let me zoom in. So I think we have to lift that up and then we can take it out. So let's try. Go from here, lift this up, okay? And once you lift that over there, I think we can now get this completely out. Yes, but also no. I'm confused. It's stuck because this raised portion, it's hitting that. Oh, there we go. Okay. What a pain. Now you got these two Christmas tree looking springs. Okay. So we gotta make sure we put that back because we don't want to lose those. Uh-oh, I don't remember which way was up and which side was down. Is there a specific way it needs to go? Okay, the wider side is that way. So we're gonna stick these back on here. Is it really necessary to take all this out to get the screen out? That is so annoying. What a terrible design. Really? I think it is necessary. Seriously? Yeah, I think it's necessary. That is, oh my goodness. Okay, we have to get this side out as well. So lift that up. And then get these spring-loaded thingies out. It's really dangerous because you can easily damage the cable. There we go. You could easily damage these flat ribbon cables, so gotta be very gentle. Okay, take these Christmas tree things out. Oh, I put the springs upside down, so the wider side goes towards the outside. Interesting. Okay, I put it on upside down on the other side. Okay, so make sure when you put these springs that the skinnier side goes down toward, oops, sorry. All right, so flip this over. The skinnier side of the Christmas tree goes down like that. All right, good thing there were two for me to double check. Okay, now how do we get this thing off? Huh. I don't know how to get this plastic bar off that's holding everything in. Wiggle it. I'm assuming there's some clip or something. Okay, yeah, just wiggle it and you'll hopefully be able to pop it out just like this. Oh, I see. Are these antennas? What? Okay, let's wiggle this side and do the same thing. It's stuck on, what is it stuck on here? Let go, oh my goodness. What is it stuck on? Okay, there's some adhesive stuff here that we need to peel up. I don't know what this side is stuck on. It doesn't want to let go. But there's this thing that it's on. Do we need to lift that up to be able to move it? Let's switch to a small flathead screwdriver. Lift this up so it's no longer held in place if we can. Come on. Is that what's... Okay, that is what was holding it. Alright. Man, such an annoying design. Okay, wiggle, wiggle. And now we got this out. Oh, the power button's attached to it. Be careful. Is it just adhesive? Yep. Okay, now we got this plastic piece here, which if they just threw this away, it would have been so much easier to take this thing apart. Okay, now we have these cable things here that we do actually have to take out. Here's the antennas. Okay, so are these the antennas? Do these come out? Why are they attached? I have no clue. Do they come out? I have no clue as well. What the heck? Okay, anyways, let's zoom out here. We got so much junk all over everywhere now. I'm gonna hold the hinges down in place. You can leave the screws in to make it to do this, but I'm doing that so I can open the hinges out, and then now we can drop the whole keyboard down. All right, and here is the keyboard assembly. I'm scared to flip this upside down. Okay, I was worried stuff would fall out, but there's the keyboard assembly separated, and now we have the wireless antennas here. Again, I don't know if these thingies separate. Maybe you have to like route the wireless antenna through it and then it will come out. Yeah, I think you'd have to like route the wireless antenna through it or something, but I'm gonna push that back in its slot, groove, whatever. Okay, yeah, I think if you undo this wireless antenna, which we'll probably have to do if we replace the whole screen top assembly, then you can go ahead and take this plastic piece out. So we'll see. I'm most likely going to end up having to do that. I'm gonna probably have to get the whole screen assembly because I don't think this is gonna come out. Let's see. So now we can go ahead and pull this glass forward even more. It's stuck. It's completely stuck. I don't think we can... Can we separate this? Okay, we're slowly just gonna push this and peel it out. Oh, you can hear the adhesive separating. There's lots of glass here, so I'm scared I'm gonna cut myself, but okay, this is coming out. Oh, I saw some broken pieces of glass. I'm gonna cut myself here. I'm gonna hold on to this and I'm gonna pull it away. Okay. And what? How do I separate this? I don't even know. Okay. What is this? Okay, so I can actually see the LCD control board in there, and it's sticking to the glass, which we need to separate. So I'm gonna push my thumb on that inside, and I'm gonna try and separate that. That board is no longer important because the screen is broken, and we're probably gonna end up breaking the real glass now. Oh, I actually see cracks spreading up through it. How do I separate this? Let go. There we go, kind of. Oh, that's gonna be dangerous. Okay, so now, please don't shoot glass in my eyeballs. Okay, here's the glass panel that was on front. I don't know if this is part of the whatchamacall. There's this foam rubbery pad things here, which we might need to transfer over if we get a new one, because it looks like it kind of hooks over here, and then it comes down a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, let me make sure to clear off my desk from glass debris real quick. Let me sweep this into my trash can. Risk cutting myself real quick. Okay. All right. Okay, are we going to be able to separate out this layer? That's the question. Is it removable? I'm going to get glass all shot into my face here. I think I need to do this outside so that it shoots into other people's feet. I don't know. But we're going to try and pull on this. And going to end up with glass all shot everywhere. I'm wondering what they use to hold it in, with what kind of adhesive, because that would determine what I need to get it out. Okay, I think I see. I think it's stretch release adhesives here at the bottom. I hope. Okay. I hope what I see is correct. Oh shoot, you see this cable? It's coming separate from the rest. So I don't know. All right, let's try. So if it's what I think it is, then I think this piece I can pull on it and we should be able to stretch that to release it. You see how this is coming up here? I don't know why it's wrapped in the bottom though, so I don't know how I'm gonna get that out. Okay, there we go. So now we got a hold of this. Let's see if we slowly, carefully pull this and hopefully it doesn't get cut by the glass. Oops, sorry. I'm not even showing you guys what's happening here. Okay, so this, we're just gonna keep pulling that. And it is coming out. I'm pretty sure this isn't gonna be reusable, so I'm gonna have to toss this one. But it is working. Now we have this pretty silvery colored glass rainbowy thing. That looks cool. I don't know if you can see it. You see how it's making some rainbow pixels? Look at that. Okay, we got one side out. I tossed that thing. I don't know if this is another one. Oh no, that's an actual cable. Make sure you don't pull on that. That's a cable. Okay. And then I'm assuming on this side there's another one. Yep, okay. So on this side, there's another one of those. These squigglers, we're gonna pull that out. I don't know how I'm gonna put a new one in there, honestly. I don't know how you would even get to that. Does this piece come off? Oh, whoops, okay. So for future reference, I'll show you one thing I learned. But anyways, let's go ahead and pull this out. Their screen was already broken, so it's not a problem, but I want to see if you can somehow cleanly remove this. Okay, so we're just pulling this adhesive to stretch release it, just like that. And hopefully now that we got both of these out, okay, now that we got both of these out, does this whole thing come up? Yes, kind of, sort of. This feels like there's more at the top. Oh shoot, this is scary. There's more adhesive towards the top. Is it a stretch release adhesive at the top too? I don't know. I don't see how you would get a hold of anything up there to pull it out. But okay, so this cable, it's removable now that we have access to this. You see that? You see that? There's a flip latch here. So you can flip this latch. Come on. Why is it stuck? There we go. So you, oops, sorry. You flip this latch, very similar to a lot of Dell laptops, and then we can pull this cable out. And there you go. And also if you're replacing this, these are face up against the board, okay? So we'll set that down. And The wireless antennas do stay attached there. Okay. And now we need to somehow separate this and shoot all the glass at ourselves. So, where's the stretch release? They don't have a, I don't see a place to pull. So this, we're just gonna end up shooting more glass at ourselves. I don't see a way to stretch release this. Maybe what I'll do, let's try, we'll put a little isopropyl alcohol back there. And let's see if that will help. Come on. Nope, it's not really helping. I'm gonna take this outside and go over the giant trash can, and I'm just gonna pull this whole panel out, okay? So I'll be back because I don't wanna end up shooting broken glass all over my work area, and then I'm gonna end up hurting myself. So yeah, let me pull that off and I'll be back. I'll let you know what I find. Okay, I was wrong. The things that I thought were cables, they are stretch release adhesive tabs. So these are very complex, you see these? So we're gonna have to grab that and we're gonna take that out. I thought it was a cable, but it's just plastic, and they use very long ones to hold on to the stretch release adhesive tabs back there. So you just grab this and then you pull this out here. See that? And now the stretch release adhesive will come out. What a pain in the butt. And these are kinds of like stretch release adhesives that you cannot buy. So once you take this out, if you replace it, you can never do this a second time. So keep that in mind, okay? So we'll do the same thing with this side, okay? Again, there's the plastic thing. You just peel that up. Pull that. Pull that. I'm pretty sure ASUS won't supply this kind of adhesive for repairing these screens. But peel that out. Okay, and now we have the whole LCD panel, and here's the part number. Part number ATN A40CU05. Uh-oh. Alright, let's continue where we left off. Sorry, my phone overheated, and then it gave me a warning and it shut off. But anyways, the model number is ATN A40CU05. I think you guys got that. I'll show a close-up in case that model number doesn't help. Here's all the numbers. So if you're trying to find the screen, hopefully this will help. Alright, I did separate the glass from here. You don't need to do that. What I was actually supposed to do, let me set this aside here. Okay, so you know how it had that plastic going along there for the pull tab to remove the sideways adhesive and stuff? These pieces down here actually come out. So let me flip it this way so I can kind of show you. So I'll zoom in. But basically what you do is you get in the little gap between the silver and the black area here. And I can use my fingernail to do this, but you can use some pry tools. Okay, basically you get in there and you can see how I can pry that and then it pops out. After you do that, you can actually have access to the full wireless antenna if you need to pull it out. But that would give you access to that release tab that you can grab and separate. So we'll see if I end up putting back release tabs on there. I might end up using, I have some stretch release adhesives. They're not the same, but I have these. Maybe I can just have one go all the way under there. But the thing is, I don't have ones that do all that fancy curving. So if I were to put this, I don't know, there's all these foam things in the way, so I can't just stick it straight there. It would be along the side here. And this one's actually might be too big. I don't know. I don't have thinner long ones like that, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I have to improvise and stick this here and then maybe use a piece of tape that's sandwiched here to have a little tab stick out there. We'll see what I end up doing. I don't know if I can even cut these in half because usually when you, since they're so wide, like, let's see, will it even fit in between there? Kinda, like almost perfectly. This one, will it fit? Am I supposed to put it along the plastic? I don't know. Sometimes it should go along the plastic. I don't know if you can pop out these little ones here. But yeah, I need to rewatch my video of how it was routed. But anyways, I'll just find a way that makes it work because I don't have the exact same kind of stretch release adhesive. Alright, so to put this back in, just line this up here, this with the hinge area, and then just click it back. Okay, pretty simple. Alright, now I gotta figure out the cabling because we did have to remove that cable. I don't know if there's anything special about it. I need to get the crumbs and dust off this thing, so make sure there's nothing stuck underneath when we put the new screen in. Okay, this one's gonna be a pain. It was a pain to get apart, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a pain to put together, so let's go ahead and grab the replacement screen and see if it hopefully matches, because again, the glass is hopefully going to be part of it because I can't separate that. Alright, this screen took a while to get. They wrapped it all up like this. I'm assuming it's from China because they like to do stuff like that to make sure, I think, that it doesn't get opened in transit. That's my guess. Alright, anyways, we're going to cut that. We're going to cut this. Cut that. Make sure it's cut across here. Man, this is... Okay, packing that. And then this has that tab that comes out. It looks... Oh no, there's still tape. There we go. Alright. And we gotta cut this tab. If you're wondering why I'm recording this, I record it because sometimes the sellers want to see proof that it was handled properly or whatever. Okay, and then gotta cut this. Okay, cut the other side. They have this fragile sticker on it. Alright, hopefully that's good enough that I can take the screen out. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay, so they do give thin stretch release adhesives. They also give little cards, I guess, to try and pry it open. Let me see, what's this? They give some instructions here. Touchscreen cannot work. Please do steps 2. Put the touchscreen cable in your touch control board correctly and tightly. Restart laptop, press F2 continuously. Laptop will download software automatically. I think touchscreen can work after you do this. What is this? I think it'll work. Okay, and then they show how to remove the bezel and stuff. This is not for this laptop. This laptop did not follow those instructions. They're way different. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get this bubble wrappy stuff off. I'm just gonna roll the bubble wrap onto itself so I can... And I hope it has the whole glass. I'm assuming the glass is the digitizer because it has like a gray tint to it. So I'm assuming the... Okay, they also wrapped that packaging stuff all over it. So there's going to be... Let's see. Can I already see? I can already see it has the glass on it. Okay, so I think we should be good. Now we just gotta peel this. I just hope all the camera thingies line up right and everything. Is it that side or is this the ending side? Here's the start, I think. Yep. Okay. Oh wait, is that the end? I'm confused now. Which side's the start and which one's the end? I think that's under there, right? But this is under. What? How'd they do that? How's there... Did they use multiple? What the heck is going on here? Oh, okay. We wrapped it on top. Okay, what I usually try to do with this stuff, I try to save it. So if you don't want to see that process, you can go ahead and fast forward through the video, because this is going to probably take me a while. So I'm going to try and unravel this so it's as flat as possible. Okay, I won't be able to get it perfect, but I'll just unravel some of it. Okay, so here we go. Now we have this. Okay, and what I like to do is I have this roll that I just roll it onto, this old roll of tape. Okay. I don't even know where the starting and end of it is anymore. Oh, okay. So I cut it here. You can see it's rolling this way. So I'm going to have it continue going on that way. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take this roll. We're going to get this thing on there. And I actually did it wrong. Well, whatever. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue rolling this stuff onto here so that I get more of this stuff if I ever need it in the future. I use it for when I have to repair hinges on laptops. Uh-oh, I think I started on the wrong side. Is this underneath? I think this one's underneath, isn't it? It's underneath, isn't it? Yep, that's underneath. Okay, so we can't do that side first. I hope it's this side first then, because I don't know what's going on. It's like overlapped on itself somehow. How'd they do that? Are there multiple starting wraps? Should I just get rid of this stuff at this point? Is this on top or under? Can't even tell. It's like it fused to it. This material's kind of crazy. Yeah, this one's underneath for sure. So where's the start point? Are there multiple? I don't know. Oh, here. Yeah, there's multiple. All right, I'm going to figure it. I don't know. I'm assuming it's this, or is that underneath? I can't even tell. No, that's underneath. What the heck? Maybe I should just give up trying to save this plastic stuff. I don't like just tossing it because it's useful for me. Is it there? Okay, maybe it's this. I see it's like it's torn there. Okay, so I think that's it. All right, let's see here. Sorry for all this added footage of random nonsense that you're not going to care about. The important thing is I care about it. All right, so I'm going to grab this guy, and hopefully this is the actual starting point that I can roll it up. Okay. All right, so we're going to now do this, and I'm just going to roll it onto this tape roll. Okay. I know somebody's probably gonna be like, you know, you can just buy a whole roll of that for this amount of money. What are you doing this for? I don't know. I don't need a whole roll of that. I only need a tiny bit. So whatever's included in here on this thing, it's good enough for me. Okay, so this, they kind of overlapped it. So now I gotta pull this out of the way. Okay, and then wrap this. Oops, I'm knocking stuff around on my desk. I hope I don't lose anything. The spring's disappearing. Okay, anyways. I had to rewatch my video because it's been a while since I took it apart to make sure I know where the screws go. Okay, this one they wrapped over here. Is it underneath? Okay, it's on top. And also saving this stuff, if I for some reason need to wrap it back up to ship it back or something, then I have this, so it's useful. Okay. They kind of overkill with how much they wrap this stuff though. They don't need to wrap this much all over it. Alright, so we got the first one done. Then which one should I get? Okay, I think this is the other starting point that I kind of wrapped it all on itself. Now, so now we'll just start the next one. Same thing. This stuff. It's going over the top edge of it now. Oops. I'm knocking stuff over. I gotta be careful here. Okay. Get that out of the way. This one's good. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. I'm sorry. I wasted several minutes of your life. Assuming you didn't fast forward. I would hope you fast forwarded, because most people are like, I'm not here to watch that. I'm here to see how you fix the computer, right? So, anyways, we're almost there. Alright, now we got lots more of this stuff. We'll set that aside. It's just held in with some masking tape. I don't need to save that stuff, so peel that. I actually only need to peel like this one because it's covering the thing. Now we should be able to peel this off, and hopefully the screen will just slide out. Yep, alright. There's the screen, safely removed. All right, is the model number the same? What is this piece of paper? Oh, it's just the name of the model information, ATN. Okay, now I can double check. What did I do with that broken one? What? Oh, okay. Let's see, ATN A40, ATN A40, CU05. All right, they have the extra -0 there. That's that -0 there. So it is an exact match. Model number, perfect. Let's go ahead now and see if we can get this all back together. Like I said, if you heard me earlier, the screen has this little rubber thing. I'm gonna try and transfer that over, because the replacement does not have that. So, let's see, the screen is like this. You can see, oops, you can see it has the same little square thing there, sticky square. So I think they actually extracted this from another laptop. So this peels away, and then it will stick in between the two white lines there. So both of these, we're going to transfer that. Okay, let me set the glass aside. Oh, I ended up breaking it. It's so slippery. Okay. All right, so this just lines up here between the two white dashes and sticks just like that. Same thing with this guy. Hopefully it will stick. Okay, there we go. All right, now we have the little cable that we need to transfer. This cable that we took out. All right, oops, I knocked some of the screws over, so let me make sure I have them in the right pattern so I know where they all go. Spring from this Christmas tree. Ah, I accidentally launched the spring. Okay, just like that, like that. Stays there. The springs are a little bit tricky to work with because they go flying all over the place. All right, sorry, I'm trying to reorganize my screws and stuff that I have laying on my desk. Okay, so here's the cable. Again, you want these little pins facing up away from this board, okay? And we're just gonna line that up. Okay, make sure it goes in properly. Let me actually zoom in here so you can see better. Or hopefully you can see better. All right, now that's in, I'm going to use this little latch to pull it into place. Now it's good. Click that down. All right, and now we got to get the thing back together. Let's zoom out. This is going to be tricky, I think. All right, here's the back cover. We have the antennas, and then we have this screen that's supposed to plop on top. I didn't check, but there's all these little holes in the glass that we need to make sure. I mean, it's the same model number. It shouldn't be anything different, right? This one's upside down now, so we have that hole, those three, then that one, then the other tiny hole, and then that one. Yeah, so we should be good. All right, so how do we get this back in? Did it just sit like this? Is that how it was before? It just plops in there? I don't know. Shoot, how am I gonna do this? It's easy when you're tearing it apart because you don't need to worry about it going back in, but when you gotta make sure it goes in, and do I need to take out those plastic things, first? Let's see. Will I be able to just slide this in? Are these rubber things gonna be a problem? These rubber things might actually be a problem here for sliding it back in. Let's see. I can slide one side in at a time. Okay, it slid in. No, wait, no, not completely. Shoot. This is tough. Okay, maybe if I line it up like this, and then I can push both sides in, down at the same time. Okay, get that. And then while that side's in, I can slide that, and there. Okay, so it does line up now. And now I just need to figure out how I'm going to put the adhesive behind here. Did I screw up? Can I take this back out? Okay, I can get it back out. Good. That had me a little worried. Okay, but once I put the adhesive, it's not going to be... I'm not going to be able to just plop it back out, right? You see, this is not easy to get back out. Okay. So, if I stick this down... This part sticks up, so I'm pretty sure I need to stick the adhesive here, because if I stick it here, if it's not as thick as this or thicker, it's not gonna touch. So what we gotta do, we gotta stick the adhesives there. But the thing is, again, how am I gonna get the pull tabs? There's these little squares that stick the screen down. I need to make a thing that routes the adhesive tab that way, I think. So, should I add extra adhesive up there? I mean, just having it along the side should be plenty. You shouldn't really need extra adhesive pulling along the top. The problem is I don't have a thing to stretch release it. So if I put it, I have adhesive I can put there, but if I put that, it's gonna cause problems, I feel. I don't know. How would I release it if it needs to be removed? I have mini ones that are for like MacBooks that I can put here. But again, if I need to pull it out later, I don't know how that's going to work. I would need some kind of long tab running down all the way down here somehow. Maybe I can do that with a piece of tape. Okay, I'll have to devise something with a piece of tape, I think. So what I'll do, shoot, okay, I need to make a thing with tape first. So if I need a long strand of tape to go all the way down to the bottom. It's the only way. And it also needs to meet behind these plastic things that I need to pop out. So that way in the future, if it needs to be removed, you can take this out, access that tab, and then, okay, is that, I don't know. Or you can just tear the screen apart like I did. You can just destroy the screen like I did the first time getting it out. Okay, let's see. So what I'll do, I'll make a piece of tape that reaches all the way to there. Okay, let's see here. So I want it to reach, and I need to have it fold on itself. So I'm gonna now fold this in half, hopefully, somehow. I don't know. Good enough. All right. Hopefully that creases enough. I'm going to cut this tape. I mean, obviously you can just use like a Scotch tape, I guess. I'm doing this the hard way. You can use like the thinner 1-inch or however wide those other tapes are. Strips, rolls, instead of trying to cut one of these in half. Alright, anyways, there's the tape tab, and what I'm going to do here is I'll take one of these guys, and it's sticking to me, and I'll fold it in half onto it. So I'll stick that on there, okay, and open that guy up. Okay, actually right now we can stick this down. So we have this, we're gonna just line this up and stick it down. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so now that we got that, we're gonna have to peel this away. The problem is, how am I gonna line everything up the first time I peel the thing out? This is scaring me. I don't know. Okay, now we gotta fold this onto itself so that we have it as a pull tab, right? And I hope it will let me release it pulling this out diagonally pretty much, because it's not going to be okay. So I'm going to try and fold it as straight onto itself as I can. Oh no, it's not going to be straight. That's not good. Okay, because the stuff that sticks up is going to be a problem. I think what I'll do is, since we have that, the excess outside here, I'm gonna have to cut because it's gonna be sticky. So I'm gonna just try and cut the excess tape here away. Okay. And again, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I hope it does. Alright, whatever. Take that excess out. Okay, so in theory, what will happen is this will be under here, and then I can pull this. And then hopefully I can actually like rotate it. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I feel like it's going to tear itself, but I tried, okay? I tried. I don't know, I tried. Okay, we got this in here. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing back on here, and hopefully, wait, is it not? I gotta line the bottom up, right? Is it not lining up? Come on. I don't know. This is not easy, okay? Why isn't it going? Let me flip it this way, maybe. Am I not lining something up right? Okay, I guess you tip the bottom in right first. Okay, and it will line up. And then once you have that tipped in, then you can click that. There we go. And hopefully this will stay in place, that it will be removable afterwards. I don't know. Okay. We have the long ones that I need to figure out here. I don't know how this is gonna work, okay? I'm just going with what I got. Should I use that or should I use this? I don't know. These ones are much longer. The screen will come all the way. Oh, there's some broken glass there. Good thing I noticed that. Otherwise, that could have damaged the new screen. Make sure there's no broken glass stuck to those adhesive strips. If I put this here, is this a stretch release adhesive? I don't even know. Honestly. I know the other ones I have are. I don't know if this is. I'm gonna just use these just because I know what they are. For sure. Okay. So we got this. Oh god. Line that up. I'm gonna stick that here. And just try and follow the line of the black plastic piece here. And then I need to add, same thing, a piece of tape here. I don't know, maybe I can have it attached to the other piece of tape. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with this one. I don't know if it was worth all this extra work to try and save the panel here. The alternative was buy the whole assembly, display assembly. That would have been way easier. Okay, well, it's the same thing here. Get this piece of tape. Stick it to this thing. I didn't stick it as well as I needed to, but Alright, and stick that down. Alright, now we got this tab we're going to have to fold over. Let's peel the red thing off. Okay. We still got to reassemble this afterwards. Okay. Now we gotta fold this tape over on itself like the other one. Oh no, the problem is it's going over the foam. I hope that's not gonna be an issue. Well, guess we'll find out. Okay, fold it up. Alright, crease that edge. Again, we have the excess that's going to be sticky there, so let's cut that off because it didn't fold perfectly. Okay, hopefully that's good. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do the other piece here. All right, so we'll flip this over, make sure this is going under so it's somewhere to grab. Then we'll get this guy in. Make sure these cables aren't getting smushed. Go in at an angle there, and then click that in. All right, easy enough, simple enough. Okay, now I don't know about the side tabs, how I'm gonna make those removable. Maybe I'll just use a piece of tape and somehow connect these two, and hopefully that will somehow work. I don't know, because I don't know how else I would do it. So we're just gonna do that, okay? How can I do this? I don't know. Maybe we'll go under this blue tab here, and then we'll, oh, that's too big. I'm gonna make it thinner. Okay, so pull that up, and then I'll just stick that down on there. Then this can go underneath here. Oops, I stuck it to itself already. Okay, that can go under there. And then this, I gotta try and make it stay flat. Oh, I accidentally pulled that out from the thing. Okay, so I need to tuck that back under the little hidden thing. I know it's a long process, and it's getting more complicated because I'm trying to make my own custom plastic removable tab thingamablobber. Okay, there we go. Then I'll just fold this back on top of itself. And it's not perfect, it's lower than this, so hopefully it's okay. Then we can go ahead and peel this off. All right, and I'll do the same on the other side, or I'll attempt to. Hopefully that will be okay. We got this tab now. Gonna do the same thing, lift this up. This video is gonna end up being like 3 hours long at this rate. All right, got that in. Now we'll just take this out for now. Get that there. And then fold it over itself. Same thing. This side's still sticky, but I don't know. It should be okay. All right, let's get this back under there for being able to reach. All right, now we'll go ahead and peel this up. And the trickiest part will be getting the screen in without accidentally sticking it down already. So we're gonna have to have it angled like this and very carefully get the screen in. This has to actually come forward. Why is it so far in there? Okay. Because this will actually come out here. I think this one is coming out so much. What is going on? Get back in there. Okay. So, next, right, oh, too much. Alright, so I have to be very careful with getting the screen in. We're basically going to aim to get the bottom part in. Make sure this tab, it's like folding on itself. I'm going to fold it the other way so it doesn't try and go underneath the screen, because once I accidentally trap that underneath, there's going to be no way to get it back out. Alright, so I'm going to go in at an angle this way. Make sure it doesn't touch those adhesive strips. Okay, and the tough part will be how to get everything lined up 100%. How to get everything lined up 100% before smushing it down. Oh, actually, it's already lining up. Okay, so since I did a test earlier to line it up, it looks like it went well. Okay, so now we're just going to push down the top, push down the sides that we put the adhesive, and now the screen shouldn't be able to come back out easily. I just hope that we didn't forget anything, because if we did, I don't think it's going to come out anymore. Okay, so I'm going to just press this down. Okay, press down there because there's the adhesive here and here, and then press along this and press along this. Alright, and hopefully this will come out easily. Yes, it does. Okay, actually, I think it's slightly underneath the thing there, but it does come out. Okay, well, I already peeled it, so let's just go ahead and peel the whole thing. Okay, there's the screen. I don't know if it had that blue tint before. The customer, when they got it to me, it was already broken up, so I don't know. Alright, so next we got to get this piece, I believe, right? There's all this adhesive stuff I need to worry about. The power button cable here we need to worry about. Which piece was first? That's the thing. Was it the screen or this? I think it was this, right? Or was this on top? I think this was on top. Let me check real quick. I'll be back. Alright, so yeah, the screen was in there, and then this piece on top. So, let's see. Is there an easy way to do this? Let's go that way first. Then we'll get this. Line all of this up. Okay, make sure the hinges are lined up. Oh, I'm dropping dust onto everything. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll line up the hinges here. Once it's lined up, I can push the hinges down with it. Just like that. Alright, good. Now we can flip this over. And then, I can't remember if, I'm going to have to rewatch again or something, watch. Yeah, I need to figure out how this went, because I don't know, this stuff is complicated. I think this all goes underneath, right? And then this goes on top. So this, to make sure we get it lined up right, goes like that. And then those weird springy tree thingies were in here, I think. So, give me a second. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, I think my phone's going to overheat again. But anyways, this thing goes on top of that. So, yeah, because the antennas had to route through here. And then we can go ahead and put the spring-loaded thing. So make sure this adhesive is out of the way. Make sure we're not smushing anything down. This goes on top here. Okay, so make sure these are out of the way. This needs to be pulled out. It was stuck on top of there last time, if I remember correctly. And yeah, so this will be like that. We can go ahead and actually put back a few of the screws so it stays in place. Let's go ahead and put these wide screws back in. Let me zoom out so you can kind of see the whole thing at once. Okay, and there were 5 screws here, so we got this one here. Okay, 1. Got the second one. Make sure again that we're not accidentally crushing anything. Okay. second one, this one goes here. Okay, make sure all this stuff is lined up right. Good. This has a little adhesive tab you can stick back down. Right, this is not lined up right. There we go. Alright, then we got the one that's in the middle here. Trying to make sure I'm not accidentally smushing anything. Alright, this one has that adhesive stuff here that's like sticking up. Alright, third one here. Make sure this little tab lines up right. And the last one that's holding that plastic bar here. Alright, that's good. We can go ahead and route the antenna wires. I think this tape actually, did it go over the antenna wires? I don't remember, but there's probably room back there to do it, so most likely we'll get that behind there. That goes behind there. Then we have these wires that go under here. I don't know if it matters which one goes first or not. Alright, we'll use this tape to hold the wires up and out of the way to prevent the screws from accidentally hitting it. Alright. Then we'll pull this here. And this goes down around here and then over to here, I think, and then I think it comes up through the motherboard there. So it's that. Okay, what else? I don't remember. Did these go on top before the screws? Okay, so we definitely need to put these spring-loaded things back in now. So let's zoom in. I don't know how tricky this will be. It was a little tricky to get them out. Let's see how tricky it is to get them in. So this, it like hooks in here kind of. So this goes in like that. And then this part has to go up and these have to go in that little groove down there. Well, actually, what? That was super easy to put back in. It was way difficult to take out, but it's super easy to put back in. Okay, so same thing here. You start by putting the spring sides lined up first, okay? And then once you have that in place, then you can just worry about pushing this down. And when you push that down, it automatically flips that into place. Very simple. All right, and then I think these get held down with those screws. Okay, so there were 4 screws. We have to switch to the PH0, JS0 screwdriver. Hopefully you were able to see everything I was doing. So this folds over. And then pretty sure it goes in there. I might want to double check my video real quick just to make sure, because I mean it does line up perfectly there, so I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't know where else it would. Okay, make sure it's lined up right. It has the raised plastic dimples that make it line up properly, so you can't really do it crooked unless you're just forcing it down and not paying attention. Okay, next one. I'm going to loosely fit that first and then go to the second one. Okay. Yep. Make sure it's going in right. Looks good. I'm not too sure what that this spring does other than keeping the fold in a certain spot. Because when this opens and closes, it doesn't even activate this spring because it's attached to this piece here. So I don't really know what those springs for. But I mean, it's there. It's there. That's what it's for. Okay. What's next? We have the battery. We have the motherboard. Okay. So next, I think we got to put back the motherboard, logic board, whatever you want to call it. All right. So motherboard here. Tricky part is making sure all the cables end up back where they need to go. We have to get the wireless antennas back in here and then make sure none of these cables get crushed, because otherwise we're not going to be able to put them back in. So the power button one might be a little tricky here because it keeps wanting to bend down that way. So maybe putting a piece of tape here will help. Let me see here. I'm going to use this foil tape here just because it's easier to maneuver and I have it already there. So we'll stick it like that, okay? I think the other ones aren't going to be too bad. This one might be a little bit, but it's easier to pull out these if it gets trapped underneath. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this side first because the headphone jack does go into the little hole over there. So line up the wireless antennas into that slot there. Okay, once they're in there, you can go ahead and line up the headphone jack like that. And then we'll slowly lower this down. Again, making sure that all the cables end up back on top. Oh, my screwdriver's sticking to the magnet. Okay. So again, making sure all these cables end up back on top, the touchpad, keyboard backlight, all of that. All right. So that's good. This, you have to push it in a little bit because the USB-C sticks out a tiny bit. And if you're not careful, it's not going to line up right. Then line up that with the little raised dimple there. And I think we're good. Okay, so double check, make sure we have access to all the cables that we need. Keyboard backlight, keyboard, touchpad, okay. We don't need this keyboard debug one, right? Battery will be next. We got the tweeter speaker thing here. The woofer speakers we have outside already for both sides. And I think that's it. The two screen cables, the power button cable here. I don't know what this one is. I don't think we connected anything there. So I think that's it. Yep, that's it. All right. And also don't forget the hinge screws if you're going to open the computer. Let me double check where this lines up with. I think that's the middle one, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and put back the hinge screws so we don't forget, and because once we open the computer, we don't want to pop it open while those screws are out. So we'll get this one. Make sure that's in all the way. Good. We got the one all the way up here. Again, the center screw, you don't want to put anything there because the hinge, sorry, not the hinge, the bottom cover is going to have that screw going in there. Then we got this screw here. Okay, we got this screw here. All right, perfect. We'll untape this. All right. I like the foil tape. It holds its shape and it's not too sticky. And then if the only thing is make sure you drain the power, obviously. You don't want to short stuff out with the aluminum foil tape. All right, wireless antennas are here. We're going to have it go underneath the fan first. Oh, actually, let me zoom in so you can see. Oops, I can't zoom in that far because my stuff's in the way. Let me move some stuff a little bit. There we go. All right, so this antenna under the fan here. Then up here, other one also under the fan, over here, then go around and under this piece here. Come on, get under there. All right, there we go. Then it hooks in over here. All right, and then we got the antennas that plug-in right there. So the one with the whitish gray color thing goes to the white arrow. Just line it up. You'll know it's right because it catches, and then you can click it down. Okay. Same thing with this. Once it like hooks to where it doesn't wiggle around, you know it's good. Okay, come on. Line up. It's hard to do this with the little space. All right, there we go. Put that in, that's good. All right, we can go ahead and put in the motherboard screws now. Very simple, there's only 4. Let's zoom out here a little bit. All right, one up here. The motherboard is nice, they actually put little arrows to show you where the screws go. One down here. Okay. Another one up here. Another one down here. All right, then we can go ahead and plug in the tweeter. There's no specific order you need to connect things as long as they don't block other things when you put them in. Okay, so this, they drew like some blue on top, but you want to make sure, you see how this has the pins showing on top. If for some reason you're replacing it, you don't want to plug it in upside down like this where it shows the wires. Okay, so if you buy a replacement, it might not have the blue marker on it to tell you the same thing. All right, I like to pinch the connectors together like this, so that way it's not putting force onto the connector itself on the board. All right, now we'll go ahead and plug in the touchpad here. Make sure that latches up. Okay, while it's in, latch that down. All right, keyboard connector, make sure the make sure the latch is up. Make sure the connector is clean. This, line it up. Usually this has to go in slightly at an angle, but it looks like it went well. Okay, latch that down. The thing that's kind of throwing me off is it sticks out so much compared to how some other connectors I work on do. So let me double check. I think, is that as much as it goes in? It seems like it. Oops, sorry. I think that's all it goes in. So you can actually see there's a big gap between this and the thing. It throws me off. All right, then the keyboard backlight connector. Okay, this one, see, it barely goes in. This is throwing me off. I hope it's working right. Then latch that down. We'll see. I'll power it up, make sure the touchpad, keyboard backlight are all working and stuff. All right, we got these connectors. We're gonna have to line them up and then click them back down. All right, oops, sorry, there we go. Line that up. You can feel when it's lined up because it doesn't slide around anymore, and then click it down. Okay, there we go. Then we have to put those screws back in. They have these little pad things that go on top. I like to loosely fit the first screw and then get the second screw before tightening it down, just like that. All right, this one, same thing over here. All right, that. Okay, we have the SSD. SSD goes in like this. Okay, at an angle. It helps, you can pull the whole thing in like that. Oops, sorry. Oh no, I zoomed way out. Okay, so let me do that again because you guys probably didn't see anything. Okay, so I held this up out of the way so I could see the connector. And then when I got it lined up, I pinched both sides together like that. All right, make sure this lines up. Get that in. Perfect. All right, now we got to get the speakers in. All right, so I don't know if there's a way you know if you plug in the right one or the wrong one. Is there? Okay, the rubbers only, these little rubber mounts, they only line up a certain way, so make sure you do it the right direction. Okay, so that one's good. Line up the connector. Pinch that in, perfect. Then we got the other side. Oh, they also label it, I think, L, right? No, LSR. Okay, so the last letter is this is the L, the other one has the R. So it's on the right-hand side because the laptop's upside down, but this is the left speaker when you flip it over. Okay, again, same thing. You want the non-exposed wire portion sticking up. If you flip it upside down, this one you can actually see the pins. So they put a marker here to tell you which side is up. But if you buy a replacement, it might not have that, so keep that in mind. All right, pinch that. Perfect. I think all that's left is the power button, the battery, and a few screws. And then this rubber foot I have to figure out. I think it came from the bottom cover. All right, so the power button, at least I think, was that the power button? Oh, that's gonna be tough. How am I gonna bend that? Okay, definitely gonna need some tweezers for this. And you wanna be very careful with this cable because if you damage it, you're not gonna get power to your computer anymore. So, yeah. Right? I like to use my fingernail, if you see, to pull that back just to get it behind the connector. And now it's in. We can latch that down. All right. Okay, battery. We'll test it after we plug in the battery. And then we can go ahead and put the bottom cover back on. So let's go ahead and grab the battery. What did I do with so many things here? Oh, is it this one? All right, this looks like the right one. Line that up. Yep. All right. There's all this tape on top that's going to make it difficult for you to see. If I didn't already mention the battery model number, it's super tiny here, but C41N2302. All right. If you don't know, you can check your own, obviously. All right, so this has the, pretty sure, the sliding metal latch. Yep. Line this up. Okay, click it down. And once it's clicked down, slide that metal latch back over so that it won't pop back out. You can put the tape back on. The tape's not really needed for anything, but it's just there, I guess, for redundancy to make sure it holds itself in. All right, let's see if it will turn on right now. Actually, let's go ahead and put the screws for the battery so it doesn't flop out, just in case. Don't want to accidentally have the battery fall out and then cause some problems. The speakers will definitely fall out, so yeah, just be careful when you flip it over to keep that in mind. Right, last two screws for the inside. And then we can power it up and we should be good. All right. There we go. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. And let's push the power button. Do we need to plug it in? We probably do have to. Yeah, okay. Power button doesn't work after disconnecting the battery because it also acts as the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery. So let's go ahead and get the charger and plug it in. All right, I'm back. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in. And hopefully everything will work. Let's push the power button. Okay, it's powering on. I see the screen. That's a good sign. All right. We didn't change the cameras or anything here. So the original cameras are in there. The screen changed, and what else? The digitizer, the touchscreen. So if the touchscreen works, we should be good to go. Again, I do want to double check the keyboard and the touchpad. Power button definitely worked. Speakers are working. We can try and tap this. Nope. Okay, touchpad's working. Usually, okay, keyboard's working. So I'm gonna do restart. Usually touchscreen might not work on that screen, so I'll have to wait till it boots up, and we'll see. Okay, it's taking a while to boot up. I hope it's going to boot normally, because I think when the screen was broken, it was probably turned off and on wrong. Oh yeah, it's loading right. Okay, give me a second, because it might show information I'm not supposed to show. I don't know, depending, some customers don't want their name shown, so I want to make sure. If it has something, you can see all the fans are spinning. That's a good sign as well. Okay. Alright, I think it's booting. Come on. Oh, one other thing. It's always a good idea to restart your computer one time. Oh no, their digitizer's not doing anything. So let's try the thing that they said. Press F2 or something. Is it touchscreen? I don't know. But anyways, you can see here, touchscreen's not working. One thing I recommend is restarting the computer if you're running Windows. So I'm going to restart, and we'll see. Okay, it says it's restarting. So I'm going to restart the computer and see, because sometimes the drivers, it doesn't recognize the new screen properly until you restart the computer. We only replaced one cable from the screen, so if it doesn't work, it's could be that the screen is a incompatible model, or I don't know what else. Maybe the bar there that they had is not good. But anyways, we'll see. It's restarting. Either that or the customer disabled the touchscreen the first time they cracked it. A lot of people will disable the touchscreen because it'll go crazy if the screen cracked. Right? I don't know if there's any shortcut keys for any of these computers to disable touchscreen. But yeah, alright, it's starting up. We'll wait for it. I'm surprised it takes so long to boot up. It's probably because, I don't know, all these gaming computers, they put too many extra drivers and softwares that make things slow. Yeah, no touchscreen. I don't know. So I'll have to see. I'll have to ask the customer. But for sure the touchscreen's not working. What'd they say? Press F2. We can try that. Basically, it's saying go to the BIOS, F2. I don't see how going to the BIOS will make the touchscreen start working. It says it will download the software automatically when you press F2. That's not what F2 does. F2 goes to the BIOS. But anyways, let's try pressing F2. Are we getting into the BIOS? There we go. Does it work here? Nope, touchscreen doesn't work here either. So that means it wasn't disabled. Pretty sure. And I think the touchscreen just doesn't work. Unless it just never was touchscreen. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a touchscreen. So I'll have to see what the customer says. I mean, the computer's at least working now. The screen's visible. Before it was just like exploded. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing back together. We just got to get the bottom screws back in. So get this panel pushed back down. You want to push inwards and down at the same time. That's how you get the clips to go back in. Okay, everything looks good. We'll just get all these screws, and that's pretty much it. I think we were using a T6 screwdriver for this, or T5? T6, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get all these screws back in. And that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right? If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More, which basically just has my review videos and a few other random things. I'm currently posting those on this channel as well, but I'm trying to split them off. So if you want to see that happen sooner, yeah, subscribe on that one. You don't even have to ring the bell if you don't want to watch my review videos or whatever. But anyways, let's get the rest of these screws in, and that's pretty much it. Alright. Trying to think, where did this... Oh, okay, I see. I think it goes up this way. Okay. Yeah, so they lost one of those rubber feet, it seems, because there was only one in it when I went to work on it, so... I don't remember which side had the foot on it. I'd have to see the beginning of my video, but I'm assuming it wouldn't matter which side it's on when I put it back. Okay. So get all the screws back in, and we're good to go. Alright. That's good. Let's put the little rubber foot back in, and we're good. I don't know if it matters if it faces up or down. Is it better this way? No. I think it's better the other way, right? No, actually, I think it has to go a certain way. Okay, let's put it on this side. Yeah, it's supposed to go that way. Alright, anyways, that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, let's drop this. Bye.